Hey, welcome everybody. I wanted to share a part, just one slide of a PowerPoint presentation that we did on helping behavioral health professionals understand and maybe relate to folks who may not reach out for counseling or reach out for behavioral health care, okay, for various reasons. And so we were talking specifically about introverted, shy, loners, socially anxious, and so forth. And I just feel like understanding how people present differently in the world, how they behave, and so forth, can help counselors and other behavioral health professionals understand how to best reach them and relate to them. Now, also, if you experience this, I'm a big introvert myself. This may be helpful to understand some of the distinctions. Now, I would say when I get into this, I think they're very interrelated. Okay, so keep that in mind as we go. They can certainly share attributes and behaviors and qualities. So as I first mentioned, introvert, back in my day, it wasn't talked about as much as it is today. And I'm so glad it's a part of our vernacular and that people understand the difference between introvert and extrovert. But I do think people still get it confused that introversion is not being unsociable or unfriendly. They can like people, they can have good friends. It is about where do you recharge your batteries, if you will? Where do you regain energy? And so an introvert can go to a party, they can be in a classroom, they can do all that type of things, but oftentimes an introvert is going to need to be alone in order to recharge. Okay. Where an extrovert would get more energy being around people. So if an extrovert is feeling really low and down, they would want to get out with people. All right, shy. Shy would just be socially selective. And there may be a host of reasons for that, why they are just selective with who they allow people to share themselves with. And it could be that there can be some self-esteem and confidence issues, but there may be other issues where they're just not very comfortable around adults or young people or in crowds or classrooms, not comfortable speaking up and so forth. So that's kind of the distinction and how we are kind of helping to understand here with shyness. Now, socially anxious, for reasons unknown, social interactions are stressful and uncomfortable. And this could be, again, a self-esteem and confidence could be a part of this, but it could be more energetic, as we'll see in the next section here, that for some reason folks are just very sensitive to the energy of a person or the classroom or a crowd. Maybe they're very sensitive to the negativity around somebody. And I speak a lot about narcissism, so it could be that these folks just sense that something is not right with this person, but they don't know it, they don't know how to describe it, you know particularly when you're younger. So they just know that, wow, I am uncomfortable in here, and it's harder to breathe. My stomach hurts. I get to where I'm feeling like I'm going to pass out, and I feel shaky or sweaty or whatever it might be. Now, hypersensitivity issues, and I really do think we need to pay more attention to this when we're working with folks with anxiety disorders, but folks that are just hypersensitive to crowds, lights, fabrics. I know people that have to turn their socks inside out just because the feel of fabric, can create such tension and dis-ease, discomfort. The food, loud noises, even eye contact. We always have to be aware that, and particularly with the behavioral health profession where we're kind of trained to make prolonged eye contact with people, where it's not culturally appropriate with different cultures. It's actually a sign of aggression, and you would not make eye contact with people you don't know very well, in certain cultures. So we have to be really aware of that as the behavioral health profession, that the way we're trained may not work for different cultures. Okay, we always need to be thinking outside the box. Loners, wow. Loners have a rich inner life. This isn't a dislike of people, but there is so much they want to learn and create and do, and that taking time to go to a party or to go to dinner or lunch with somebody takes away from that stuff that really feeds them, you know, whether it's learning music or writing or painting or whatever, or inventing, whatever it may be. Um, but these are not folks that are outcast. And that's our last one here is, you know, an outcast for reasons. These are folks that do want to fit in. Okay. They do want to be accepted, but for some reasons they don't. And, you know, we need unique people in the world. Unique people are the ones that make big differences in the world because they follow their heart, their path. And so I'm hoping behavioral health professionals will be able to reach out when appropriate in ways that are not threatening to folks that they maybe recognize are not fitting in, and get to know them and get to know, because, you know, an outcast could be that, yes, I really do want to fit in. My values are so different, and I'm not going to adjust those values in order to fit in with this crowd, with the in crowd. And so it is helpful for us to kind of understand all these different ways in which we present in the world so that we can be better versed when we're working with folks. And, you know, in the behavioral health profession, all of these that I've mentioned here, maybe folks that don't actually reach out for help when they actually could use counseling. Okay. So it might be good for us to understand this. So when we have a client, or if we're doing some kind of workshop, to be able to recognize folks and be able to say, hey, I see you, and I understand some really great posters out, university counseling centers are putting out about, hey, introverts, we see you, we recognize you, we prize you. And if you need help, we understand who you are, so please come in to get help. So all you have to do is Google, just search for introverted, probably posters, and there's some really funny ones, and different university counseling centers are putting that out. So hopefully this adds a little context to what you're doing. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care. Thanks.